And is my voice working? Yeah, there it is. Can... okay. Well, this is the first time I've tried any games in the Sherlock Holmes series, so see what they're like. I think it's a point and click type game.
Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
Okay. Press X to open the case book and check Current progress. Okay. Well, let's look in the telescope. Okay.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work. This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
God, the controls are pretty clunky.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
I guess Watson didn't have anything in his room I could look at. Okay. Investigate the murder, crime scene. Select a suit to wear. Where do I do that? Whatever.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care about that. Ah, there's another door here. Okay, I can change my hair. Leave it on default. Okay, we'll put one. Sure. Do the wardrobe. Light suit, grey suit, green suit. Okay, so it's a bunch of different colours. We'll go black. Okay, fine, that's okay. Can I leave now? Oh my god, getting stuck on the chest. Nothing there, nope. Okay, good. Okay.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Can I turn down the master volume a bit? Because it is very quiet. I mean, very loud. Join Lestrade at Woodman Lee's. Okay. What was that?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Okay. So he was over here, right? Yeah, there he is.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
The hell am I doing now?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind.
I don't know what I was supposed to do. Can I try again?
You have indeed suffered.
Yes.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Choose the evidence that confronts the statements of a character. is, I don't know what I'm... How do you know about Plymouth? I don't know. I'm assuming it's here somewhere. Is it the pilgrimage?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
That was a good guess.
Thank you, madam.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
Okay. Can I go in here? No? This is the house, not the cabin. Can't go in. Okay, I guess I'll head down to the cabin. What am I looking? Oh, the footprints.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Okay, so got some new evidence.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch it.
Okay.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Now, a mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
Can I open the door now? Wow.
Terrible way to die.
Yeah,
This
lined in
place
dust.
is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps. Dundee.
What do we got up here? Hammerfest?
Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Yeah. You say so. That's... Oh, sperm
The
whale
tooth
tooth.
of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Okay, so I guess they go green when they've been examined completely.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's...
Okay. Whatever.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
Okay, green now, good.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Two glasses. Which means he was here with someone.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
PC would be
The
him.
initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Because that's his initials, I believe. Can we look at what's inside? Just tobacco?
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
What? The hell is this? This is some crazy... Oh, what? I can move it? Oh god, this is gonna be a crazy. Wish they'd given me a bit more like description on what I'm meant to do here. Okay. And then that. Like that. There we go.
Yes. This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Okay.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Okay, and then I guess I'll examine him. A lot of
Peter
flies.
Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
This isn't going to be a really simple thing where the person that killed him has those initials, is it? I'm gonna open the notebook. No.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Okay, now we can open it.
These abbreviations mean something, but what? This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Related clues that will form a deduction. Blood which is dropped in the pool of blood after the murder. Someone who was trying to break in was likely trying to get the notebook. Is that right? What's this? Okay.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry. These boots don't match the footprints.
Okay, so it just means that they weren't his footprints. Okay, so they're dialogue options. Do I talk to the wife again?
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Yep.
Mr. Holmes?
It seems that the garden was...
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky,
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
So what am I doing now?
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the...
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
And who might you be?
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there! All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through.
Thank you.
Okay. I just in here. What do we have in here? Staff room. Evidence room. Let's check out his stuff.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean... And partner, 1883. To my friend, from R. Dawson. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer. A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Okay. See if we can work out what those... Is this it? The morgue. Is this where the body is? Don't tell me they've still got it hanging up.
Locked.
Interrogation room. Who's in here? Just some random guy?
Mr. Holmes?
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
What did I miss? Oh. Expensive fabric.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
Okay. Don't know what you'd pick. Maybe?
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Prepare for harpoon throwing. Okay. Back to Baker Street, I guess? Where's Watson? Oh, there he is.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Okay, off to
I
Whitechapel.
need to take a harpoon with me.
Okay. Very interesting loading screens this game has. Okay, so we'll get a harpoon.
That should do it. Now,
Then off to Whitechapel. Okay, so there's the pig I'm gonna impale.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much.
to indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little...
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Whoops. Whoops.
Holmes, I can't believe it. Did you just miss?
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, so yeah. I guess I'm talking to the guy again.
locked.
Oh, through here, that's right.
What am I doing here? What am I doing here?
Okay.
I've done nothing.
Do I talk to the wife again? Or do I examine the body again? I don't think it was that kid. I think he was just breaking in to steal something and found the body. And then tried to hide, panicked, dropped his book. Is there anything else? It's just that.
Who could do such a thing? Who could do such a thing?
Okay.
My poor husband.
So we'll go back to Baker Street. Okay, so I guess there's two other people. That one and that one. Who are they?
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now... Good gracious, you caught someone. At least...
Okay. Yeah, I already realized this. Search archives. Why didn't I do that? Oh wait, no. It was in my building. God damn it. I can't cancel it, can I? Or can I go like that and it will take me back to Baker Street? Did it work? Taking a lot of load, so it might. Not sure how you'd be able to read that book in such a bumpy carriage. Good, it did work. Research. What?
That is not the one I need. That is not the one. That is not the one. That is not the one. That is... That is not the one I need. That is not the
I'm
one.
just gonna
That is not. That is not the. That is not the one.
check
That is not the one.
every single one.
That is not. That is. That. That is not. That is not. That is. That is not. That is not. That. That is not. That is not. That is. That is not. That is. That is not. 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 That.
Oh,
That is not the. That is not the one. That is not.
oh, it's right there. Investment fund bankrupt. The Dawson Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in a loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht, preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder.
Okay. So now I guess I travel back to Scotland Yard.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are... Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Examine the ship logs. Okay, so now I can do that thing I was trying to do earlier. Okay, so
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
and is his name there somewhere? Joshua is what I'm looking for, isn't it?
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Harpooner. Is it one of these two?
This is the log notes for June. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Log notes for August. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Okay, find a use. Task for Wiggins. Who's Wiggins? Yes, John Nelligan seems not to be fish yet. Wiggins might help to find the crew. He should be somewhere at Baker Street. Okay. To Baker Street. A lot of backwards and forwards in this game.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Hey, the dog. There's the guy sitting over there. Toby.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Is that lady still there? Okay, whatever. Call Wiggins.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Okay.
Mr. Adams, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
Okay. Let's go see this letter. I wonder if his
These are the
boots will
suspect's
match.
belongings. Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5.
Will they fit?
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
Okay. And then
These are the suspect's belongings. I wonder
compare
if
with
these are
certificate.
connected.
CPR. There's CPR.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Oh. What's this deducting Nelligan's motive? Okay. But that doesn't mean that he has the strength. No. I'm pretty sure he was retrieving the notebook and not the papers. Pretty sure Nelligan is innocent. There's Nelligan and the new guy. So let's talk to Nelligan first.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Just want to check with him about the bond thing.
Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond.
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. These papers, they belong to my family, but I could not find them.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man. Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Okay. Is he gonna be a fisherman
Allow
or
me to
something?
introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely. And considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
Now I'm going to examine him. Okay. Oh, big scar there. Handkerchief with crested... No, okay, so that's the name of the bird. Oh. Plant remains. Was he the gardener? Gardener's hands. Yeah. He's the gardener, I'm pretty sure.
That's all for now.
Is this gonna be... Let us see them here. These covered almost completely in ink stains. Okay. This is just a theory. But... was he having an affair with the wife? Which is why she said there was no gardener, because he was the gardener. Chemical analysis was over here, wasn't it? Yeah.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain
Okay.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay. So we got orange, colorless, blue, and green. So needs to be blue. Blue first, I guess. And then is it blue or green? I guess we'll just try this. Blue, blue. Green. Orange. Colorless.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Okay.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Is it blue, green, blue?
Done. Now I can proceed
Yeah.
further.
It was blue, green, blue because you'd have blue, something, something,
Let
orange.
us see if the content of this letter sheds a
And
little
then
light upon the mystery.
after the other blue, you have the orange and colorless, which means that the next orange is the 3rd one after the other blue. Okay. So, just wipe it all away.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
Okay. And I guess I'll go check those boots. Okay, so Liam Hurtley's here now. He's a former soldier who left the military with an honourable discharge after having been wounded in the neck by shrapnel, working as a gardener. So, I'm pretty sure. Let's go to Woodman's Lee first. Then I reckon I'll do a little bit here and then be the end of the first episode. So let's examine the footprints. His boots, I think, will match.
These boots match the footprints
Yeah.
exactly.
I thought so. Which, because they said he had no gardener. Okay, that's blue, so I guess blue's better than red, so I'll leave it like that. Now let's ask her.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
I'm sure
Thank
you
you,
don't.
madam.
You're lying. Scotland Yard.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Okay.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Okay, I guess it's the wrong answer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
A letter.
I did as you asked, and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one, but it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
Okay. So, the garden shed, I guess. Okay, last thing. And then the end of the episode. And the garden shed, I guess, is behind her. What'd she say about him saying he was a gardener?
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
Shed's floor. Ill-fitting plank. Is this the box? Fancy music.
Let us see what is in this box.
Rotate the lock cylinders to form a complete line. Please note that some lines are deceptive. Okay. Where does the line start and where does the line end? Okay, I guess that worked. Bunch of letters.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship.
I knew it.
That is interesting.
I knew it. Okay, what else we got in here? Anything? No? It's just that? Do I talk to her again? Yes.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Okay, so let's deduce something here. Okay, and then ooh, that's a big thing. I'm going to continue the investigation because I've got to see about the third person. But anyway, When was the last save point? Can I... Oh, that brings that back to there, so... If I do that, is it going to be red? No. Okay. I don't know if it's his... It's both his... Okay, so that... If I put that to there, then it goes blue. What's this? So that's just the letters, okay. So if I go to Baker Street, is this gonna save it? I guess we'll find out. And then maybe that's a loading plus save.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that
Okay, so he's talking. So if I go to main menu, then if I continue, will it go straight to that conversation? If so, then I know it's saved. Okay, so it's saved here. And I did that. Okay, good. Well, that went well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.